Well, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us for this week's instalment of In the Blender. In the Blender was created to get to the truth behind these amazing, inspiring women that we see out there in society who seem to be so seamlessly and effortlessly blending work and life and success. So we've lined up for this series a few amazing people to talk to, and I'm very excited to say that this week we are chatting to Alanna Bastine Byrne, who is one of the co-founders of Femeconomy. Now, I will bring her in, and if you're online with us and you can hear her, we would love you to let us know where you're listening to us from, and send Alanna some love if you can hear Alanna. So, Alanna, have we got you?
Yes, you have. Hi, everybody. It's Alanna from
Oh,
Femeconomy.
hello. So excited to have you on the show with us this week. It feels a bit like we've got a celebrity in our midst when I see your, huge line of awards and what you're achieving with Femeconomy. So thank you for giving up half an hour of your time.
Oh, thanks for inviting us. Sorry it's taken us a little while to get the appointment, but yeah, it's great to talk to you and your community.
Oh, thank you. I guess for those people out there who are not familiar with Femeconomy, do you think you could give us just a little bit of a rundown on, I guess, the elevator pitch on what is Femeconomy?
Well, Femeconomy is you. You are the female economy. So women make 85% of purchase decisions. In Australia, last financial year, that was $818 billion worth of spend. So what we're doing is using this huge economic lever that women already have in their hands to create gender equality. So we want women to choose female-led brands and create gender equality. Our Femeconomy approval criteria is to have at least 30% women on your board of directors or be 50% female owned.
That's amazing. And I saw on the platform you've got, it's over 800 now businesses that are registered.
900 now, actually. Yeah. So when we initially researched the brands, we initially researched 2,000 consumer brands. And of those, when we launched in September 2016, just over 700 met our approval criteria. And the reason we have brands that aren't Femeconomy approved on the directory, like Aldi, is so that people can actually make that switch, and also so we can track that data. So now it's almost 900, where when we started it was just over 700.
Wow. Okay. And how long has Femeconomy been running?
I think it's 18 months now.
Wow, that's not long at all.
Yeah, no, it's not long. But it's really, I was saying to Jade, actually, my co-founder and sister-in-law, that I feel like life exists in Femeconomy years now, which is like dog years. So 3 months can feel like a year because things happen so fast in, in smaller businesses that are really agile.
Someone actually asked me just yesterday, they said, how long's BubDesk been going? I said, well, only 2 years, but I look in the mirror and I feel like it's been 10 years. It's really, it takes it out of you running a business. It's aged me a lot more than 2 years.
Yeah, it's so true. It's I think we all exist in dog years, but I don't know. I think we all love the roller coaster of it too, because that's what's exciting.
Yeah. That's right. It is very exciting. And so what were you doing before launching Femeconomy? What's your background?
Yeah, so I have 17 years experience in marketing, communications and community development in leadership in the UK and Australia. So I've sort of been a bit of a globe-trotting nomad. I've tried lots of different industries, from events, arts, education, social housing, health, because I've moved a lot. But in all those organisations, I was in some sort of leadership role. So just before I started Femeconomy, we'd moved to a regional area in northern New South Wales, and my sister-in-law, Jade, called me because she'd read the stat that women make 85% of purchase decisions, and she became obsessed with it. She just couldn't let it go. So she said, oh, do you want to join me on this? And I said, we're family. Are you crazy? But then we sort of spoke about it, and, with my international marketing background, her HR leadership background, and the promise to be absolutely blunt with each other and, you know, completely honest, we embarked on it, and it's actually been wonderful.
Oh, that's amazing. And I guess on that, you know, you've gone into business with your sister-in-law. I think most people probably wouldn't want to spend a long time with their sister-in-law. Mine's all right, but she's pretty good, actually. She might be watching. Watch her. I think you're fantastic. But you know, when I read on the website that you've gone into business with your sister-in-law, I thought, oh my goodness, how on earth did that come to be, and how is that working out? You know, has it any strain on the family, working with family?
No, I think actually for us there's been a lot of benefits. So one, she's based in Brisbane, I'm based in Northern New South Wales. So we work remotely, regionally and flexibly. And I think for us, we talk every day. We also have a 3-monthly strategy session where we go away for 2 days and reflect on where we've been, where we're going, what we need to stop doing and what we need to do more of. And I think that time together, being able to talk every day, being completely focused on the business, and actually when you work with family, you have that immediate trust, respect and love. So anything you say is actually for the benefit of the business, because you know you're already coming from that space. So we don't really get offended with what anyone's saying. So you don't have the politics like you usually do in organisations, because it's family and because you've got that sort of deeper level of understanding. Plus, you know, Jade and I have known each other for 15 years. So we've definitely done due diligence on working with each other and knowing, you know, each other's careers and being able to spend a lot of time together. So, yeah, I would say that if you are thinking of working with family, as long as you're completely honest with each other and have really good systems in place in terms of how you're going to communicate, then yeah, give it a go. And be honest with each other. If it's not working, just say.
Yeah. And I guess that is the thing, you know, it's all great now, but what if one of you changes their mind in, you know, a couple of years' time, doesn't want to do it anymore? Did you go down the track of shareholders agreements and things, or it's like, it's family? Yep, all above board.
We had all the agreements set up. Yeah. We said initially that we'd give it 2 years. So we put the structure around what we wanted it to achieve in 2 years, and if it didn't achieve those things, then we weren't going to continue. And I think it's important to do that when you start, because you're so in love with your idea. Everyone thinks when they're an entrepreneur that this is the world's best idea, everyone is going to love it, and in fact it's a lot harder than that, because no one loves your idea as much as you do. But because of that, you need to actually be honest and have that objectivity around the business too, because there's so many people we talk to that keep going on the same path that's not working, the market's not responding, but they're so in love with it they keep going. Now there is a bit of that you need, but there's also a bit where you need to listen to the market.
Yeah, I think that's very good advice. It sounds like similar advice that my husband gave me about 2 years ago, and I just refused to listen, Alanna, because I was that in love, you know, with the business. I wouldn't let it go. And I do see, you know, through the BubDesk community, I see a lot of mums who are in that position. And you do become so wrapped up, you know, it becomes an obsession having a business. And people talk to me now about, would you ever let it go? And I say, God, you know, I think I would need counselling to let go of my business, because it is such a part of me that it becomes very, very difficult to let go of something you're so in love with.
And I think too, particularly when it's giving you other things that you want in your life. So for me, it's being able to bring my kids up in a regional town, work on a business that I think is changing the world, working flexibly, doing the jobs that I love and work with the people I want to work with. You know, there's lots of things that it gives you, because you've got that control and agility.
And did you find with Femeconomy that it got traction immediately? You know, was it something you launched and so strategic that it just went crazy from day one?
No. So we
tell us that it actually took 10 years.
Didn't take 10 years, but so when we launched it, September 2016, the website went live. Obviously, Femeconomy was an unknown company. The idea you could shop for gender equality was a completely new concept. So our reach on website and social media across all channels in the first month was around 2,000. But in saying that, a year later, it was over 300,000. So for us, I guess that's a short time when you look back on it, but at the time it felt like a really long time getting to that. It felt like, you know, trying to constantly convince more people, talk to more people, get them on board, hear their feedback, change what we were doing as a result. That takes a lot of time, a lot of work to go through that.
Yeah.
And I think still now we're refining our messages based on community feedback. I don't think we've got it completely right yet.
And were you working at the time when you launched Femeconomy, or you were, you know, you were at home looking after young children and thought, yeah, I've got capacity for this?
I was a marketing consultant. Jade was working full-time in management consulting, and so we both said we would quit our paid work in April 2016 and work on this full-time for 2 years to see how it would go. And it pretty much has been full-time since we started.
And for people who are at home, you know, listening to this, and a lot of them are going to be female-led businesses, how would they go about getting involved in Femeconomy? Because I saw you do have a few, you know, options that people can do if they want to get their own businesses on the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. So if their company is at least 50% female-owned or has 30% women on the board of directors, they can choose to join Femeconomy. So they can either be a gold member, which lists on the platform and we do shout-outs on social media, or they can join as a platinum member, and that's where they actually have a collaboration conversation with me about where their business is going and what we're doing. And that's where we actually find synergies with members, where we can either introduce them to other businesses in the network who can help them with the current business hurdle, or they do some cross-promotional marketing, or we actually collaborate directly with members. So one of the things that we're doing for NAIDOC week this year, it's actually going to be launched tomorrow, we're doing the first NAIDOC ebook with 11 female leaders from around Australia, and it's called Because of Her We Can, and that's a collaboration with one of our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander consultancies, and it's funded by the Queensland Government. So it's a really unique opportunity we've been able to develop through those collaboration conversations with members.
Oh, that's amazing. And now you mentioned, oh, actually one question on that before I move on. Do they need to be an actual company, or can they just be a, you know, a sole trader type?
We have sole traders on there. Yep. So it's just comes down to business ownership. And I guess too, where your business wants to go, what your values alignment are, what are the organisations that are actually going to make you achieve in business. So I think you've got to be really selective about the network that you want to be in and what you're trying to achieve out of your memberships, because there's lots of different options out there. So yeah, I would always say look at that and benchmark against other organisations.
Now, on the actual running of your business, you mentioned you're living in regional New South Wales, and here I was mistakenly thinking that you were a Sydney-sider in the city, but now that you've told me you live 20 minutes north of Byron Bay, I'm thinking, oh, it sounds like the dream, you know, there's online business and I could do it from anywhere and regional lifestyle. Do you find that you actually get to take advantage of all those amazing, you know, elements of being able to live in regional Australia, or are you actually still working a million hours, you know, like me? Trying to work in your lunch break, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think a bit of both. I mean, I think the good thing about living here is there's no travel time. So dropping kids to daycare, after school activities, all of that is a 2-minute thing. You know, it's so easy. However, I have to go to Brisbane probably once a week or once a fortnight, which is a 3-hour travel trip. So you know, you might save time in one way, but you've still got to, you know, you've still got to engage with people face to face. You've still got to build your network face to face. So I think for me, how I'm able to live in a regional area is because I'm quite close to 2 major cities in Australia. So I'm really lucky in that respect. I would say that some of our members, you know, in more really regional and rural Queensland and New South Wales would find that much more difficult. I do tend to work school hours, but then I work at night as well. So yeah, it's, you know, you sort of try and you try and work it however you can. It depends on what's going on during the week. But by, working on your own business is not, it takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work. It's not something that I could just do for 2 hours a day and be happy with. It wouldn't, but that doesn't suit my personality either.
And I did talk to someone recently who looks like they're doing quite well, and I said, how many hours a week do you dedicate to this? And she started the sentence with 12, and I thought she was going to say 12 hours a day, but she said 12 hours a week, and I was like, I think mine would be up around 60.
Yeah. And how do you find that?
Oh, well, for me, I'm not at the point yet where I could leave my day job. So thankfully I do enjoy my day job, but I find that, working on my business just has to be slotted into in the morning on the bus, in my lunch break, like right now from the food court, after work on the bus, once my child's in bed, on the weekends. And honestly, it's hard. When you're going through that transition period, it's exhausting. And, you can't keep it up forever. So, it comes to a point where I think it takes its toll on your family too much. So you either have to work out how you're going to transition into just being, just working on your business, or if it's not looking like it's going to get there anytime in the foreseeable future, you maybe have to let it go. And that's a tricky place to be.
That is, like, what are your triggers? Yeah. What is your decision for when you leave paid work? It's tricky for people, and it's so unique to everyone's personal and professional situation, because often their business is so tied up with their personal and professional journey. They're not separate. It's very intertwined. Yeah.
Yes, and I find that goalposts tend to be a bit flexible too. It's sort of like, oh, well, this month I'll, if I haven't achieved this, then Y, and if I haven't achieved this, then X. But, it gets to that month and, my husband will say, well, let's look at the spreadsheet. And I've got a whole lot of reasons why, that particular milestone hasn't been achieved. And I just push the goalpost out a little bit.
Yeah, well, at least you've got that flexibility to be able to do that. I think what one of the things that we're seeing, which is great, is organisations that have entrepreneurs as staff actually facilitating time within the organisation for their entrepreneurs to work on their business, because they actually see, by letting them do that within the business, they're actually creating an innovation mindset within the company, and then the company has other benefits to that. I was talking to one organisation where they've got so many female entrepreneurs within their business that they're looking at creating like a specific networking group for them that other people can tap into. And I just thought,
that's amazing.
It is amazing, and something that I would think that, 5 years ago, an organisation would have knocked that on the head and said, you can't work on your other business. But actually, there's so much disruption happening that they're trying to tap into that talent pool and also keep people within their organisation as well.
I totally agree with you. And I mean, I haven't worked where I am right now for very long, but they're a lot more supportive of it than where I was before. And, I think they do appreciate that, especially mums, and I was mentioning when I was on the International Women's Day panel the other week, and I said, look, once mums have a baby, that's when they're the most creative, the most entrepreneurial, because they're all trying to come up with these efficiencies on how to make their own life simpler. They've all got, they're coming up with these big ideas on businesses they could create so they don't have to go back to their day job and be separated from their baby. And, they're the mums that you want back in the business, because, they're bringing all these cool, new, innovative ideas, and you just need to be able to sort of channel that energy into entrepreneurial type activities where they still feel, that feeling of satisfaction.
Yeah, and I guess listen to as well for those ideas, and then trying to bring them to fruition in the organisation. Yeah.
Yes, you'll have to let us know offline who that company was, and I'll have to put it to the company that I'm working for and say, look what these guys are doing, because I think that would be great, and I know that a lot of employees do have something that they're working on the side, but a lot of them are very nervous to mention it because they don't want to rock the boat, and it is still very common for, I think, employers to be thinking, well, you need to be 100% focused on this. You couldn't possibly have anything else happening on the side and still give us your full attention.
Yeah, I think it is a challenge for some cultures, and so I know that another organisation they don't encourage their internal staff, but every once a month on a Friday, they have entrepreneurs that pitch to their staff so that their staff have that access to innovation. So I think some companies are trying to do it because they know what disruption means. But yeah, I think it's got a while to go before it's embedded culturally in Australia.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've got time for a couple more questions. One more from me, and then I'll see if anyone who is listening to us, while I'm coming up with my last question, if you are listening to us live, please feel free to post up your questions for Alanna. But my last question to Alanna is, for all these female startups out there who, are either, a lot of them I think are probably struggling in startup land and thinking, God, how much longer? That's often how I feel. It's just how much longer? Do you have any advice that you could give those female-led businesses out there on how to approach that startup journey?
I think listen to your market, absolutely. If you are a perfectionist, stop it. You need to dig that perfectionism out and put it over there. The 80-20 rule is what you need to adhere to. So if it's 80% perfect, get it out, see what the market thinks, listen to that, because your internal perfectionist voice will only stop the traction that you're getting, and you'll get in your own way. Also be clear about what success means for you. So I find that some female entrepreneurs that I speak to, they look at the startup landscape, they hear the word unicorn, they see, they worry about the traction that they're getting, they see the millions of dollars being funded by VCs. They think they should be part of a startup hub or an accelerator program, but I think sometimes the culture is actually not right for them. So think about what success means for you. Think about the sort of work-life balance that you want, and then work out ways of facilitating that. I mean, for me, it's been as useful to set up 30-minute, 15-minute conversations with people all over Australia and internationally and build my network that way, because, again, it's really difficult for me to travel, and anyone can do that. But be really clear on your market and who your network is, because they're the ones that are going to help you.
And what's round the corner for Femeconomy? I mean, you've already built this amazing platform. I guess what does success mean to you, Alanna? I feel that when I look at what you're achieving, you have all these awards, and I think, oh, well, Alanna's successful. There's, what more could Alanna do? But is there something more?
Well, we're trademarked in Australia, the US, and UK. So wow. We want to launch internationally within the next 5 years. And we're sort of exploring how to do that at the moment. We're very lucky that Queensland University of Technology strategic marketing students have taken our US launch as a 6-month project for their third-year students.
Awesome.
So we're really excited to see what they come up with when they present to us in May. And that's a great idea to do too for your business. If you need help with that, talk to the universities in your local area about how you can collaborate with them and their students on that strategic piece for your organisation.
Oh, it's amazing. Excellent suggestion. And on the trademarking, you can trademark a name, but I guess, is there any way with Femeconomy and an online platform that you can sort of, I guess, patent the idea? Do you guys worry about other people copying it?
So in the US, there are already companies that have a similar model to us. But for us, we really actually want to collaborate with them, because I think in this age of competitive collaboration, there's so much opportunity, and so for us, it's just really looking at that as a first option rather than competition.
Awesome. All right. Well, I don't see any questions popping up here, and I have exhausted all my questions, you'll be pleased to know. But I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you the past half hour, and once we hop offline, I will be sure to add the Femeconomy link for anyone who's watching this later so that they can get involved. And I'd like to see a lot of them list their own businesses up there on your platform, because I know a lot of them do meet those requirements. And yeah, I just think it's an amazing business and, you know, community and Femeconomy that you have created. You know, it's just, I really take my hat off to you, and I was just so excited to be talking to you today, because, you know, it's just, you're absolutely, you know, you're just the pillar of success, in my opinion.
Oh, I don't know. Some days it just really doesn't feel like that, but thank you.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Alanna, and I'll let you go back to, you know, blending work and life. I know you've got your daughter at home there, so
Yeah, and
thanks.
she must be well fed and into her art, because she hasn't wanted to bust in on the interview, which I'm very relieved about.
We would have loved a guest appearance. Cameo appearance from your daughter would have made it. Quick, go and get it. No, I'm just joking.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Oh, perfect. And I'll look forward to meeting you when I'm north of Byron Bay.
Yeah, fantastic. Come on down.
Wonderful. All right. Well, I'll let you go. And to those of you who are listening at home, thank you very much for joining us today. We've had Alanna, Bastine, Byrne from Femeconomy, and it's been absolutely amazing half hour. So I really enjoyed all the information and advice that she shared with us this past half hour. And we'll look forward to chatting with you next Tuesday for the next installment of In the Blender. Thanks, everyone. Bye.